for treatment.
I believe that is correct.
What do you say, as a physician yourself, to somebody who is undergoing treatment for a drug or treatment that was developed by taxpayer dollars that they can't afford or are going to go deeply in debt to pay for? What does one say to a person to say, thank you for your tax dollars developing the drug, but I'm sorry you can't?
Lawmakers in the House are ready to move to vote on a stopgap spending bill and to prevent a government shutdown. But states have been actually talking about tax cutting sprees, and now a proposed Pennsylvania tax break could result in big tax cuts. If the tax breaks happen, this will not be good. It's fueled by surging revenues. States have been slashing taxes for individuals and businesses for the past 3 years. But tax cuts are expected to come to an end in some states in the fiscal year. Some 25 states have cut individual income tax rates since 2021. And the lawmakers in many states have been approving tax cuts aiming to help residents financially. New property and rent relief rebate checks are going to be sent out, and these payments are worth billions of dollars and will equal hundreds of dollars for many people. It's fueled by surging revenues. States have been slashing tax for individuals and businesses for the past 3 years. But tax cuts are expected to come to an end in some states in the fiscal year. Some 25 states have cut individual income tax rates since 2021. It includes 22 states that reduced their top marginal rates. In 2023 alone, at least 8 states approved rate reductions. And Arkansas is trimming its top individual income tax rate to 4.7% after reducing it from 5.5%. Aside from individual income tax cuts, states have proposed rebate checks for their residents. Last year, 17 states issued inflation relief payments as well. And now, if you're a Massachusetts resident, income tax refunds were available to you if you paid personal income taxes and filed your return by October 17. If you file your state return by October 17, you should be able to get your stimulus check back. Nearly $100 million in rebates will be sent out to residents across the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. Starting today, over 4 million older homeowners, renters, and people with disabilities will be issued rebates on rent and property taxes paid in 2022. According to a release, the rebates will be allocated to eligible Pennsylvanians who submitted an application through the property tax and rent rebate program. Applicants who submit their bank account information on the application forms will receive the rebate through direct deposit. And those who request a paper check to be mailed should expect to receive the payment in the mail too. But after the initial distribution of rebates in early July, rebates will be distributed as claims are received and processed. Recently, a Pennsylvania governor called for a major expansion for the relief program, which will provide a lifeline for Pennsylvania renters and homeowners. Under his proposal, the maximum standard rebate would increase from $650 to $1,000, while the income limit for renters and homeowners would be made equal and both increase to $45,000. But these income limits would also be tied to the cost of living moving forward, which means people who receive a rebate will not have to worry about losing their eligibility through no fault of their own. Ultimately, the proposal would result in nearly 175,000 additional Pennsylvanians qualifying for a rent rebate. Stimulus checks worth up to $500 have actually been confirmed by the president. Billions of dollars are actually being allocated toward a new round of stimulus payments. According to state officials, employees who served on the front lines during this crisis are being rewarded with stimulus checks in the state of Georgia. The city of Augusta plans to compensate anyone who worked in jobs with a high risk during the times. The amount of money you'll be eligible for is determined by the number of hours you worked and the employment type of work that you worked in. Full-time city employees, for example, will receive a $500 incentive, while part-time employees will receive only $250. If you worked in public safety, dispatch, custodial, or garbage collection during these times, you may be eligible for an extra $500 stimulus check. Part-time employees in the above sectors will receive $500, while full-time employees will receive $1,000. The state's economy rebounded strongly last year from a brief recession in 2020, thanks to a surge from stimulus funds. The state finished the fiscal year of 2021 with a $3.7 billion surplus, with some of the money going to the government's saving account. A Republican has glossed over the reality that the surplus has created mostly on federal help, went for everything from extended unemployment benefits and child tax credits. Governor Kemp proposed $415 million in grants for a crisis stimulus check to companies early this week. There could also be benefits for other employees in the city, as even non-essential workers may be given an extra day of administrative leave instead. A top Biden administration official indicated that the ongoing student loan payment pause is going to end, and payments will resume, but he did not confirm a specific timeline, leaving borrowers guessing about when and whether to plan for repayment. For over 26 months, payments on most federal student loans have been paused, and interest has been set to zero. Collection efforts against defaulted federal student loan borrowers have also been suspended. That relief was originally provided through the CARES Act, but Biden officials have hinted that yet another extension of the payment and the pause may be coming soon. In response to a reporter's question about whether the president would extend the relief payment again, the officials told reporters that it would continue to access key economic indicators, including cost and inflation. Last week, the education secretary declined to confirm that student loan payments will actually restart this September. He said that education department officials are discussing with the White House about when to restart the payment.
Our ports have only been open during the week, Monday through Friday.
Now, this is just in. The unemployment claims are unexpectedly rising. So as the crisis continues to worsen across the country, lawmakers are now in Congress and looking into passing the fourth stimulus checks as soon as this month of January. So even state governors are urging the Biden administration to send out more stimulus money for Americans that are financially struggling right now. And this is a win-win for pretty much everybody. Now folks, on this channel, I always do my very best in providing you with the most up-to-date and reliable stimulus check information. So it really means a lot to me if you could subscribe to my channel. Now, according to Labor Department, initial unemployment claims unexpectedly jumped to a total of 230,000 last week. It still remained low compared to the crisis-era averages. And the Labor Department just released its latest weekly jobless claims report. Despite the rise in filings for the first-time unemployment claims, jobless claims have held near or below the pre-crisis levels for more than a month. But many economists and lawmakers are worried about the slow economic recovery of the crisis. With the crisis making its way across the country and across many states and many cities, Americans are becoming more and more worried about their finances. According to several sources, further economic support must be passed by Congress as soon as possible, as soon as this month. All for the people of America and all for American businesses. Do you guys agree with that message? Do you believe that President Biden has to do all that it takes to send out the fourth stimulus check? The recent surge